Have you ever stood in an aisle staring at two different brands of, salsa, and you feel like you're making a huge life decision? Spicy fiesta, zesty tango? You think you're in control. You think, ah yes, democracy in a jar. But what if I told you that both Spicy Fiesta and Zesty Tango are secretly owned by the same giant company, Mega Salsa Inc.? Suddenly, your choice isn't so much a choice as it is an illusion, a little puppet show designed to make you feel powerful. It's a magic trick happening in plain sight, every single day, in every store. The big idea is this: massive companies have figured out how to quietly steer the entire market in their favor. It's not always with big, scary villain-in-a-movie moves, it's subtler. What they use are small, smart, sometimes sneaky tactics that shape what you buy, how much you pay for it, what new products you never even get to see. They've written a playbook, a secret manual for market domination, and they follow it very, very well. Today, we're going to peek inside that playbook. We're going to break down the moves, step by step, so you can see the hidden hands that are moving your prices. This isn't some wild conspiracy theory cooked up in a basement. This is just business, but on a scale that affects everyone. So, what does it even mean for a company to control a market? Let's break it down. Think of a healthy market like a bustling neighborhood food festival. You've got dozens of food trucks, all competing. One is selling amazing tacos for cheap. Another has incredible barbecue. A third one has some vegan thing that actually tastes good. You get to wander around, taste things, and pick the best food at the best price. The food trucks have to keep improving and keep prices fair, or else they'll lose business. That's competition. It's beautiful. Now imagine a different scenario. One giant food truck company, let's call it Omni Nom Nom, rolls into town. It's so big that it buys the taco truck, the barbecue truck, and the vegan truck. From the outside, it still looks like you have choices. The trucks still have different names and menus. But behind the scenes, one CEO is setting all the prices. Maybe the taco quality goes down a bit, maybe the barbecue gets a little more expensive. There's no one left to challenge them. That, my friends, is market control. It's when one or a few giants get so powerful that the competition basically fades away. This control is built through clever strategies. A monopoly is where one company is the only game in town, like your local power company. An oligopoly is sneakier. 3 or 4 companies dominate, like cell phone providers or major airlines. The effects are huge. Higher prices, fewer choices, less innovation. Smaller businesses get squeezed out. They can't compete on price or get access to customers. The whole economy becomes less dynamic and less fair. One of the most effective and straightforward tactics in the big company playbook is simply buying the competition. It's like being in a race, and instead of running faster, you just pay the other runners to stop and join your team. Imagine a small, brilliant startup creates a new app that people absolutely love. It's growing fast, starting to look like a real threat to a tech giant. The giant has 2 options: compete by building something better, or write a massive check and buy the startup. 9 times out of 10, they choose the check. This is often called a killer acquisition. The goal isn't always to integrate the cool product. Sometimes the goal is to kill it, absorb the talent, then shut down the app. Why? Because that app threatened the giant's more profitable product. They didn't buy a company, they bought a clear path, eliminating a future rival. Consumers who loved the new app are left with nothing. You've seen this in tech. Facebook, now Meta, is a master. Instagram, bought. WhatsApp, bought. Strategic moves to consolidate power. By owning the main platforms, they control where trends happen, under their rules for their profit. Beyond fewer apps, it chills innovation. Founders ask, what's the point? Success often means getting acquired, maybe even shut down, so fewer disruptive ideas ever mature. Another powerful tool in the playbook is the exclusive deal. This is the corporate version of a nightclub's velvet rope. The bouncer, a big company, decides who gets in and who stands in the rain. An exclusive deal forces partners, suppliers, distributors, retailers to work only with them. It cuts off access for competitors, starving them of the shelf space and exposure they need. It's a quiet way to build a wall around your market share. Say FizCorp offers supermarkets discounts, on one condition: prime shelf space and no up-and-coming organic soda. Stores take the deal. Now the small brand can't get onto the shelves where most people shop. Even if it's healthier and tastes better, it doesn't matter. They're blocked from the game. In digital, this is huge. Phone makers pre-install apps. Are they the best? Maybe not. But as defaults, most people just use them. Pre-installs get an enormous advantage. New developers struggle to get noticed. Economists call these barriers to entry. The big companies win not just on product, but by rigging the system to keep others out. For consumers, the choices you see are a curated list, not a full menu. The most innovative options might be locked out, so you end up with what the dominant company wants you to have, not what you'd pick in a truly open market. If you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. Data is the new oil. Just like oil barons of the past, today's tech giants build empires by controlling this resource. Every time you click, search, like, buy, you generate data. Tiny digital breadcrumbs tell a story about who you are, what you like, what you might do next. Big companies collect these by the billions, building incredibly detailed profiles. They know you better than you know yourself, predicting behavior with sophisticated algorithms. Ever say you need new shoes and then see those exact shoes everywhere? That's not coincidence. That's data at work. They can tailor recommendations, adjust prices in real time, and design new products they already know will appeal to specific demographics. A startup can't compete with a decade of data from a billion users. They're flying blind. The giant has a crystal ball, so they outmaneuver, outmarket, outsell. The data advantage becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. More users create more data, which builds better services, which attracts more users. They spot trends and either co-opt them or acquire the companies driving them. It can feel convenient, good recommendations. But we're being guided and manipulated, trading privacy and a truly competitive market for a curated experience controlled by a handful of data-rich gatekeepers. While buyouts and exclusive deals happen on the field, some of the most powerful moves happen far from public view. In the halls of government, this is the world of lobbying. Big companies spend enormous sums to influence lawmakers and regulators. They're not just playing the game, they're trying to write the rules in their favor. It's quiet, complex, and incredibly effective, securing advantages no competitor can overcome. They push for regulations that sound good but hurt smaller rivals. They frame it as public good, and they have the lawyers, consultants, and capital to comply easily. A small business might be crushed by the cost. The big company looks responsible, while smaller rivals quietly go out of business. Lobbying also protects existing advantages, fighting antitrust, pushing tax loopholes, funding more acquisitions, expanding market share, and fortifying their position. Using the legal system as a shield makes it hard for markets to self-correct. Even superior small players can be undone by a tailor-made law. It tilts the whole field. Competition becomes a battle of who can afford the most influence. For most people, it's invisible, but the effects on prices, choices, and the economy are profound. Every product you buy has a journey. Raw materials, factory, ship or truck, warehouse, store shelf, or your doorstep. This is the supply chain. Controlling key links is like owning the highways and charging tolls. It's a powerful way to squeeze competitors without engaging them directly. They might buy factories that make crucial components, vertical integration. Own the best screens? Keep them. Sell lower quality to rivals, or not at all. Rivals end up with worse parts and less attractive products. The big company wins not by design, but by controlling essentials. or dominate logistics, warehouses, fleets, automation. Next-day delivery at costs small sellers can't match. To compete, small sellers often must use the giant's platform, paying the giant to access its roads. The squeeze means higher costs, longer waits, or no parts, slower production, weaker price and availability. For consumers, it's subtle, until choice shrinks and prices rise. The company that owns the road decides who drives, how fast, and how much they pay. Pricing is one of the most direct weapons, and it can be very subtle. One aggressive tactic is called predatory pricing. It looks like a fantastic deal, but it's a trap. A national chain enters a local market and sells below cost. $1 coffee that costs $2 to make. Why do it? Deep pockets. They can sustain losses for months or years. The local shop can't. It has to pay staff and rent. Slowly, the local shop loses customers and shuts down. With rivals gone, the chain owns the market, and prices climb. $1 becomes $3, $4, $5. With no alternatives, customers pay up. The company recoups losses and more. It's hard to prove. It looks like competition, promotions, efficiency. But intent matters. The goal isn't sustainable value. It's to bleed rivals dry and seize control. It's a short-term price war to build a long-term monopoly, leaving a single, expensive option where a vibrant, competitive market once stood. So, the game feels rigged, and the players are giants. It can feel hopeless, but it's not. Learn the rules and know what to look for. Think of yourself as a referee in training. You can learn to spot the fouls. Watch for when a couple of companies seem to own every brand on a shelf. That's a red flag. Cool startup gets bought and then disappears. That's a red flag. Prices keep rising with no improvements. That's a red flag. Platforms boosting their own products while burying independence. They're using the stadium to make their team win. Watch for laws that saddle small businesses with hurdles while big players glide through. These are signals of hidden hands at work. Awareness is the beginning. What can you do? Start with small, conscious choices. Support smaller, independent, local businesses. Your purchase is a vote for a more diverse marketplace. Choose the local bookstore instead of the online mega retailer. Choose the neighborhood cafe instead of the global chain. When many make these choices, competition stays alive. Talk about it. Use your voice. Back strong antitrust and fair rules. Demand transparency. How platforms use your data and pick what they promote.